Hello everyone, I am Pradesh. I'm going to explain you about our final year project, Secure FTP, a highly secured full stack file transfer protocol web application based on timestamp algorithm. And our team members are Gokul and myself Pradesh, Lokesh and Saravanan. Our guide name is Mrs. J. Manju, Assistant Professor. Moving on to next slide is about abstract. This is a secure file or message transferring protocol website which send files through a temporary expirable link, one time temporary link with extreme privacy, with limitations like time, IP access, password, authentication, and custom encryption. In this project, we present a new peer-to-peer file transfer protocol that utilizes temporary connection to securely transfer files between devices. Our protocol leverages the power of modern web technologies to establish a direct connection between devices without the need for intermediaries such as servers or cloud storage providers. And moving on to next slide is about objectives. Primary objective. The objective of this project is to create a highly secure peer to peer file transfer system using temporary links. The system will allow users to transfer files directly between their devices without the need for a centralized server. Objective. The secondary objective of this project is providing a user friendly and efficient peer to peer file transfer system that meets the requirements of users in a variety of contexts, including personal and professional use case. The system is designed with ease of use in mind, allowing users to file transfer without requiring technical expertise quickly and easily. And moving on to next slide is about literature survey. The literature survey we have take a lot of title of the papers on secure outsourcing and sharing of cloud data using a user-side encryption file system, efficient anonymous message submission. Third, design and implementation of secure peer-to-peer file transfer system based on IP multicast and Diffie-Hellman algorithm. And fourth, introducing peer copy, a fully decentralized peer-to-peer file transfer tool. And fifth, to the interplanetary file system and beyond. Peer-to-peer file transferring would make the internet far more efficient. And finally, WebRTC role in real-time communication and video conferencing. And these literature survey help us to classify the merits and demerits of them. And we almost neglected the demerits in this project, and we have enhanced the demerits into merits. Moving on to next slide is about the existing system. The existing system is a typically FTP server which allows user to upload and download files to a centralized server. Users connect to the server using a client program such as FileZilla or WinSCP and must authenticate with the username and password to access the scope and requirements of the project. User registration, file uploading, link sharing, and downloading are the most common things we will do in a general day-to-day file transfer thing. But what we have proposed is the next upcoming slide. The proposed system of this project is to create a secure and efficient peer-to-peer file transfer system using temporary connection. The system will allow users to transfer file directly between the devices without the need for a centralized server, providing increased privacy and control over the data, which ensures a highly confidentiality and security among the users at the end. The system will generate temporary links that expire after a set time period, ensuring that the files are only accessible for a limited time and reducing the risk of unauthorized access. The system will also prioritize security and reliability using advanced encryption and error correction algorithm to ensure that the transferred files are secure and intact. Moving on to next slide is about the system architecture. The system architecture is a visual representation of the connection between the FTP client and FTP server. Is also describes about the access control, user application, file resources, server control. And moving on to the next slide is about the implementation. To define the peer-to-peer networking protocol to be used, for example, the project could use a combination of WebRTC and WebSocket to establish a direct, secure connection between peers. Define the process for generating temporary link for file transfers. This could involve generating a unique connection ID for each file that expires after a certain amount of time or number of downloads. Define the authentication system for user accounts. This could involve using a combination of usernames and passwords, two-factor authentication, or other security measures. Define the encryption system for file transfers. This could involve using SSL or TLS encryption for secure, encrypted data transfer between peers. Develop the front end user experience interface for the FTP system, which should be user friendly and easy to navigate. Develop the back end server side code for the FTP system, which should handle user authentication, file transfer, generation, and management of temporary links. Test the system thoroughly to ensure that it is secure, reliable, and easy to use. Moving on to next slide is about requirements. Hardware requirements. Any combination of hardware that supports and run a web browser. The browser should be JavaScript enabled. Software requirements. The software requirements we used in this project is about VS Code, development of integrated development environment platform, Apache Tomcat, connection establishment from database. Languages used: HTML, CSS frontend, SQL for backend, JavaScript and PHP for application development. And moving on to the next slide is about modules description. Database handling. The database of the secure FTP is managed using MySQL. HTML and CSS files are stored by MySQL. MySQL is a widely used relational database management system, RDBMS. MySQL is free and open source. MySQL is ideally for both small and large applications. WebRTC integration. The utilization of WebRTC for peer-to-peer file transfer bring forth the benefit of secured communication throughout encrypted channels, guaranteeing the confidentiality and integrity of exchange. WebRTC broadcasts robust encryption mechanisms such as datagram, transport layer security (DTLS), and secure real-time transport protocol (sRTP) that fortify the security measures in place. WebSocket integration. WebSocket like WebRTC and WebSocket that enable smooth peer-to-peer connectivity and data exchange. Thus, Java Servlet, Java Server Pages, Java Expression Languages, and Java WebSocket specification are developed under the Java community process, by which these technology the protocol achieves excellent transfer speeds and minimum latency, guaranteeing swift and competent file transmission across gadgets. Testing. The primary objective of testing is to ensure that the system functions are intended, meets the specified requirements, and operates reliable under variety conditions. In the context of peer-to-peer file transfer system, testing involves evaluating the system's performance, functionality, and security and usability. Moving on to the next slide is about sequence diagram. Sequence diagram for secure file transfer is about client initiates connection request to FTP server. Then server authenticates client's credentials. Clients encrypted data before transmission. Server decrypts received data, and secure file transfer session established, enabling file secure transfer, which ensures data integrity and confidentiality maintained throughout transmission. And connection is terminated upon completion. Moving on to the next slide is about deployment diagram. FTP client software deployed on user device communicates securely with FTP server software developed on the deployed on a server. Both client and server components utilize encryption protocols to ensure secure transmission over the network, safeguarding data integrity and confidentiality during file transfer operation, which is the visual representation of the architecture. Moving on to next slide is about package diagram. The FTP, the secure FTP package comprises two sub-packages, client and server. The client package includes components for user interaction and encryption. The server package includes components for authentication, decryption, and file storage. Both packages utilize secure protocols to ensure data integrity and confidentiality during transmission. And then next comes to component diagram. The secure FTP component diagram consists of two main components, FTP client and FTP server. The client component includes user interface, and encryption modules, while the server component includes authentication, decryption, and file storage modules. Both components communicate securely over the network, ensuring data integrity and confidentiality. And this is the performance evaluation summary of user experience. And then next slide is about conclusion. In conclusion, the adoption of a peer-to-peer file transfer protocol coupled with the implementation of temporary link generation represent a significant advancement in the realm of file sharing technologies. By leveraging the decentralized nature of P2P, which is peer-to-peer system, users benefit from enhanced scalability, improved performance, and increased resilience and reliance as direct peers connection elevate the relevance of centralized service. They integrate mechanism embedded within peer-to-peer protocols such as peer discovery and data optimization, streamline file sharing processes across various devices and platforms, resulting in expedited transfers and reduced infrastructure dependencies. And here comes the screenshots of the website for this transferring files. And this is also this is about mobile, and this is for about desktop, and it is completely responsible. And these are the references which we took for our project. Thank you.